And this payment for the Western area don dey happen at Radisson Blu Mamiyoko Hotel. But some workmen dem na Lagunda complex get concern on this payment.
Well, me concern me na kitchen Laguna kitchen. So since this money business be don go on, the service local which we ID card and everything. Yes. So that they go collect the money for Kagiri. No.
We now staff and this son of food on tina, but at least from where we get this money, they say everybody count the ID card. So we get this money 1,800,000. They will come, they say they will get. Now come, they send me a solo go to Radisson Blu. If we say we go Radisson Blu, I don't go receive.
We don't come, they don't give you assurance, no left for ID cards them. Every staff ID card. We left the staff ID cards then until we say Monday, we get some money. Monday we come at this place, we not see ID card, we not see money.
Some of their workmen they continue say they not get right word yet from the different body they were involved on when they go receive the 1,800,000 loans each.
The same thing, the same do from both sides. Tourism management.
Now they don't tell you back say tomorrow.
From the management and tourist board, one know who don't get the funds because no management they give tourist board the fault and tourist board they give management the faults. Who want know money? We name the day. We forget money.
Before the payment of the safety net reached this stage, National Tourist Board, through the Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, be asked all management of different tourism establishments them for submit information of all the workmen them. And according to the accountant, na Lagunda complex, Savin Shuhas, say they may don't do this submission, but say now they don't know why them not receive the young couple yet.
And for us, we have prepared the document for the employees and submitted on the time. As per the president, he's saying that he forwarded to the tourist board also on the time. It was on the time, like I think it happened on April. But how come I prepared everything on one Excel sheet? Because except Lagunda, I don't know. But for me, I can see that like here Radisson Blu, this Kimpima and the Chinese hotel, all of them, they have received the money. But why only us, our employees, they didn't receive? Until now, we didn't get the updation. What is the reason why we didn't receive the money?
From Lagunda complex, I be take all in concern here to National Tourist Board and the Classification and Quality Control Manager na National Tourist Board. Ibrahim Toure say, na because Lagunda complex fail for present the correct information.
Well, the issue about Lagunda is misinformation where the staff do not understand. Hotel, guest houses, restaurant, tourist establishment in general, when they're in compliance with the policy guidelines we will put across for say anybody will not say if they pay PAYE, if they pay the minimum wage for your staff them, then if they pay tourist board licenses, then you are entitled for benefit from this safety net scheme. But we can't find out say Lagunda, then get several establishments the way we say, then send all the information the way we gather, we make sure say we forward on to the Ministry of Finance.
The Classification and Quality Control Manager continue, also he say Lagunda they operate with different name and this make the information where they submit of the different workmen them not there in place.
Well, they get operation order differently. They get Mamba Point, they get Lagunda, they get Cape Lizo. So the one we receive now, Cape Lizo. Then they get another facility what they call Games Wall. They get Game Skin. We capture Game Skin. Game Skin, we don't pay them. So Lagunda, not the problem in there because they say Mamba Point, then they say again Cape Lizo.
Ibrahim Toure, the Classification and Quality Control Manager na National Tourist Board carry on say the safety net support now for all workmen them na the different tourism establishments them. And this make it end say they don't pay all other tourism establishments them na Western area where do the correct thing them for benefit from this support. For the Society for Radio Democracy, me that's up to you, Kalon.
Well, that's Radio Democracy. Saptiu Kalon puts that report day together. Still, the program you listen to now the midday show will come to you live from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM, and we bring to you edition come to you. My name is Samuel Evers. Well, as I've been telling you earlier on, my guest inside the program today, na Abubakar Kamara, we are the organizing coordinator for Love of Christ Foundation. Abubakar, first of all, you would like to tell Fambule what's in Love of Christ Foundation they about?
Basically, we don't they see am say now we society, people with disability don't be neglected. And we want to give them hope. We want to extend the love of Christ to them people in the way society don't feel say they're not important anymore. We want to bring them back and tell them say they're important. So now that's all the love of Christ they're about for give hope to the one that we feel say they not get hope, we then think say all is lost with them.
Okay. Now, how long this organization on day?
Well, we detain for gonna at 5 years because I be don't do it individually.
Okay.
From the internet will be the university in my second year. We dey go to different places. The most of people we get disability go and organize program for them, feed them and encourage them. Say I come out college, I come back town, I still dey on them, they do them. So I think 5 years now.
Okay, so how you don't do for maintain this organization all these past years?
Well, it actually no easy as we say for organize events them like the one there. So like for the last event we be do, we be get on a particular field. We be get a worship with them because we see I'm say you hardly see people with disability. Then are churches or mosques. You see them then they pray or then they as member and then places then they. So like we get at them in a particular place. A open field where we get a worship and in a feeding program with them where we even cater for 2,000 people. So for maintain this organization, I go say it's all about the grace of God. Now God in grace now and they help we for maintain because it's not easy the discrimination, the criticism, everything can happen. But God in grace they make we for able for maintain this particular organization.
And so far, how you don't get funding for the push this organization?
Well, I can normally say somebody tell me once and say you need to forget the right people and the right connection. I think anything when out of God, they always stand and they get your own way out. Well, no government organization or they support we not get any NGOs for say by we get any donors and every other thing. But I think we get the right people in our society we can think as you they think. We want for do, they're not able to get the chance for do. People are around me actually where I can share to them say now this I want for do now this event I want for do this year like where I think say this year we for do this and share with them people and they then can come on board. The last event we make we spend up to 22 million where now just people where now good people them then they go say I go give you 1 million and they go say I go give you 2 million. So now so we be done they get to fund all this while.
Okay, well that's the Abubakar Kama we na the organizing coordinator for the Love of Christ Foundation. We then the for the look at disabled people in the country. Well now you don't explain some of the things they want to do. Now going further, what's next this organization they do now?
Well, they plan from Monday to Friday. We get a 5 days feeding program, a street feeding program. Because of the corona, we're not able to go get at it now. But we don't decide, say, during this rainy season, most people with disability now, we don't can big morning time. Now, they tend to get something for eat during that morning time. So we say, I'm fit, say, let we make a breakfast for them. We're going to different locations, them from Waterloo. We start Monday from Waterloo. We come Shell, we come Eastern Police, Panemba Road, different locations them. So now this now one of the things we want for do now, the breakfast. Though we get other things them we plan for do, because not to forgive us in food no more for it, or that 1,000, 2,000 we go give them people them day. People with disability get a lot of potentials them in them. Where if we all can help and support them, then can able for like we don't tend for organize programs them for them, seminars and teaching. Like me do BIT, Business Information Technology. I want for help them, I want for see how I go able for impact them so that they go get a lasting impact. Where after they don't get some of them teachings and training and they then self go and use them for themselves where they go able for get their own because every day you the big person at it and every other thing, get them things and they just for it. And some people with disability can get money. My party say the kind where you see somebody they count money when a disabled person. He say from that day they know they get money again. He say because then they get money pass in where they work. They not even know how for use them money and every other thing. Then just if you say I get 10,000 today, it's until they any done. So we want for help them out with all of them things then they. But for now, we just get this 5 days feeding program for them.
Okay, we can talk more about this 5 days feeding program as you not begin mention some of the areas them. I wanna get for go about them and witness some of the things they wanna get for use. So continue for do with me inside the program. Well, the program na midday show they come to you live from the Democracy 98.1 FM and we continue and look at another issue inside the program. The community health officer at Zimi Health Center inside Pujon District, Bernard Leve, don't raise concern say Zimi Tong no get center for treat coronavirus patients them. Where this is say don't be one of the problem we make the sick the scatter inside Zimi Tong. Bernard Leve talk this inside one interview with the Democracy, where even they talk about the challenge them where the community health center at Zimi they face. Kabia gets more on this and go now reports.
Zimi Tong dey inside Pujehun District, wey dey na the southern part of Freetown. This tongue dey near the border between Liberia and Saloon, where this tongue don dey face serious challenge by the fight against the coronavirus. Outside dem no get treatment center for treat patients dem wey don test positive from the coronavirus. This make the community health officer na Zimi Community Health Center, Bernard Leve say the reason we make the coronavirus scatter na Zimi Tong na because when they no get treatment center for treat patients dem wey don test positive from the coronavirus.
No get a particular COVID center na Zimi na, so like all the cases them we get to send them na Pujon. Necessary for like we get a center na because imagine a case being confirmed, then the travel with the means of transmission is higher than if somebody then say a positive, they want to just for confine them instead of moving with them here and there. That is a challenge really for the government to make get a center now for COVID-19.
Bernard Leve continues say, even though Zimi Tong they face plenty challenge by the coronavirus fight, but say people na the tongue don't they adhere to the preventive measures them where well body workman then don't put in place for still say the coronavirus no scatter pass how in this so na the tongue.
This part of the district when Zimi town, we said we don't record up to 8 confirmed cases of COVID-19 at Zimi town specifically. And out of the 8, thank God will not been get any, will not been record any death. We've been get some people them that quarantine homes them where will be done free as well. And then the people them for now, they really adhere to the measures that the government don't put in place because would they go restlessly, would they talk to them, would they still continue the sensitization, community sensitization, and we don't also engage with CHWs since this particular part of the district. Now, a border crossing community, people then can move in and out, they go Liberia and come in. So we don't set we community health workers and the CWs, we get the contract 2,000 and they go around the communities. Whenever they get any person will come out from Liberia and so, then get for observe them for 2 weeks.
People can remember say Zimi Tong dey near the Liberia border and security for make people we go don test positive from the coronavirus na Liberia no come inside Saloon na one thing way important we make the commanding officer for 14th Infantry Battalion na Pujehun District, Lieutenant Colonel Julius Sanko say the case them wey Pujehun District don dey record no comot na Liberia because of the kind security wey soldier man them don dey provide na the border.
We have a company at the company where get the personnel that were responsible for the security of the border and also for enforce government regulations them with regards the closure of the international border between Sierra Leone and Liberia. So the fear say the case them will spill over to Sierra Leone from Liberia. But this personnel then don't do so well for ensure say they keep the border safe, for ensure say people are not cross from Liberia into Sierra Leone. So much that up to date where Pujehun don't record 24 cases there. None of the cases them not to across the border then come up.
Lieutenant Colonel Julius Sanko end up say the military go continue for provide security na the different border than have the country for say the coronavirus no scatter pass how in dey so na the country. For Radio Democracy, Kabia the report.
That's the Radio Democracy, Kabia. We put that report today from Zimi. The program na midday show and we dey continue for look at more issue. What members say, yourself can be part of the program. You can send a text message concerning anything to discuss inside the program to 077-981-981 or you drop your message now with Facebook page, as you can also watch the program live on Facebook. We bring today an edition to you. My name is Samuel Levers. The national coordinator for the students' loan, Paul Amaradon, say Sierra Leone students them we don't get acceptance letter for go university or higher institution go benefit from the student loan where government they can introduce. Paul Amara talked this in one interview to the Democracy, where even they talk about the students loan where government go introduce for students them within a university, vocational institute and college them. Paul Kamara talk more inside this interview to Kabia.
Well, the student loan scheme, government in way for make funding or finance accessible to every students we don't get acceptance letter or we don't be eligible for attend any higher institution, basically any tertiary or higher education institution in this country, so that a third party will be available through the banks where they will make such monies available. So students will basically apply. Now let debt, now basically student loan where government will provide now for students them.
Wetin are the thing they want they look for make students be able to get this students loan?
Primary beneficiaries, one are students. Every student, na Sierra Leone. This is a very laudable venture. Well, the number one thing is that you for be a Sierra Leonean, national. You for be a citizen of Sierra Leone, and you for be resident in Sierra Leone. You're not going to be a citizen of Sierra Leone, but you're in another country, then you apply for college day and we sponsor you. You get for be a national of Sierra Leone, and then you for don't get an acceptance letter where they allow you for attend a higher or any tertiary institution of education. We also look at a guarantor, which means somebody where can stand for you, for say, okay, we stand as a guarantor for this person. We look at the eligibility criterion also for the guarantors them. One of the things that we consider, for instance, that the guarantor for be a credible contributor for at least a reasonable period of time. That time they say for the look at maybe 5-7 years to NACIT. You for be an employee and then you for don't contribute to NACIT.
Okay, so who set of students then gets for benefits from the students' loan?
The goal at the end of the day, in consonance with the constitution of this nation, specifically Section 2, subsection 9, at Part C of that clause. Now, the goal now for let government will provide access to higher education by providing those funds for every student. That is the goal. The committee is being formed to explore current situation with the SSG. We're not sustainable. And then we will look at some of the challenges. We'll look at the fee structures, and then we'll go for, at the end of the day, advise government. And then based on that advice, the government will say, okay, this is the amount that is available, and then we will decide for which set of students then will qualify for the student loan.
Can you say all students Western Sierra Leone, they don't get acceptance for being a college, university, you will be part of this student loan. We get tech voc them, we get colleges them, then we get university. So then different students will fall under then different category they are gets for benefits from the student loan.
Eventually, that is the plan. As a matter of fact, in the initial consultations and what they get right now, we don't hold 2 consultations with all universities or heads of universities, primary offices, then universities. Then we also invite private institutions and even heads of technical and vocational institutions, because the committee, they look very strongly, and as a head, I'm looking very strongly at the loophole what we get. Most of the challenges what they get now between that age bracket of 18 to 25 or 26, we're not the youth population. And most of them don't, either they're not able to pass WASCARE, or they don't pass WASCARE, but they're not able to get money for going to college, or some of them, they're not pass WASCARE, so they are caught in between that gap. We see all all over the place. Some they go to Okada, they do some other things.
So them set of students, they all get for benefits?
That not the goal. Eventually, government the plan for cover all them students in there.
We get private university, then like the Lincoln, then the University of McKinney, then self get for be part of the student loan.
As I mentioned in our consultations, we invite leaders from those institutions. Actually, I even received an email from one of the leaders in IMAT, I believe it's a private institution. So when they look at the public-private partnership, so how the private sector and how private students or students in private institutions, we can partner for make them benefit also. And we, next consultative conference, we actually invite Sierra Leone Chamber of Commerce because we are looking at how the private sector can come in. Education not to an end. Education are a means to an end. So if government they come in with this as a constitutional mandate for make you fulfill and for help, I think so the private sector will find a way for educate them or let them understand how they can come in for complement government.
As you say, we're on a consultation right now, yes. But governments don't get any money, they don't put aside for saying that this we go start with first.
Well, the fact that there is a committee, we start July 1 of this year, and we get a 6 months mandate, that's an indication that government is prepared for this. As a matter of fact, very recently we get an official from Ministry of Finance, we get for day on this committee. I believe say there is definitely seed money. I cannot disclose that this government don't put aside, this government don't put aside.
How students then get for pay this money back to government?
Well, we are looking at a system of repayment. As a matter of fact, any student loan, when you start with the board and then at the governing board, you go to disbursement, the next department are recovery. So recovery is how we are going to ensure that students are able to pay back the loan. From the start, I don't always talk and say, student loan not for be punitive, enough for be burdensome. We are not coming to, task people and make them very uncomfortable at the end of the day for make them be able for payback.
Look at the one they do engineering, the one they do law, the one they do College of Medicine. Then people need them fees high. So then self get for the part of this loan.
Every student loan for guarantee payment of your tuition fees, number one. Now, an interactive system. Not to somebody get for send list when I take the student, when I take no. You get for apply online. Where there are people are challenged with logistic issues or light or internet business, then we get for make backup copies. Now, region from the least fees for courses or career to the highest. Like we mentioned, some people then are just Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of this, where their courses do not cost much, their tuition not cost much. Some people then they go then 7-year program, then, like School of Medicine or law, way very expensive. We get for look from the least cost to the highest cost. With the factor, I will put inside the system. As long as you apply, you enter your student, your college, where they apply for the student loan for. They call it the system, they recognize straight away within the tuition fee. Once you're eligible, we ensure say that the system go provide you that money. The tuition fee, they go straight to the university. So you don't have any ability as an applicant for make you hold money. So it got for cover every institution of this country.
Okay, so what's the procedure for let somebody go get this loan?
Well, you have to apply online. Once you don't put a system in place, like I said, we have a secretariat now. They're near completion. A heavily ICT-based program, which means the internet, connectivity-based program. We get a software we then get for CAM. The engineers get for CAM, they put it into place. Then get the software they put them. Once we don't launch them, all the students get for do, like for go to the website, and you apply. Once you don't get acceptance letter for any institution, you just go online, you apply. You be a registered student, of course.
Well, that's Nabin, the National Coordinator for Students Loan, Paul Amaram. They talk to Kabia, but the students loan with government will go inside that interview day. The program I made the show and they come back to me studio guests. We do with me inside the program winner Abubakar Kamara and in the organizing coordinator for Love of Christ Foundation. Now, you say una get this 1 week feeding program una get for do for disability them. First of all, tell me how within the different areas the una get for make sure say una reach during this 1 week.
They start from Waterloo. We come Grafton. After Grafton, we can Shell. From Shell, Eastern Police. From Eastern Police, Panemba Road.
Okay, and then how this feeding get for look like?
Well, we get a team where we don't organize with some people in from water alone. We just get for organize for the water, where we get for make the tea, because they make tea be in person. So like we want the hot water, and the team they go, then get some specific place the way then they. The team they go na them places then they. We go distribute the food. The one the way not in our places the way then they na treat. We also get motocar. We go and fend them outside and then at treat, and also give them the food.
Okay, this one go say na something we na a good gesture when they do for take care of them disabled also. But now when I take care of them one in the, what about this the one that we did out of Freetown? Now the one that we did not Freetown no more cater for?
Well, as a start, we want for start with Freetown first, because say for Ghana the provinces it involve a lot of things. We want for start me aim and determination. We aim as a team now for reach all side of this country. All side, as far as we get the power, we get the strength and the support. We want for reach everybody when a disabled person in this country. We want for reach out to them with this kind of thing what they do, and also with the things the way we plan for do more for them people in there.
What's the main aim we want to achieve being this feeding program?
One, now for bringing them people in the back to God. As I say, majority of them people, 90% or 95%, not they go church, not they go mosques. Then feel saying that them only life than they for live and beg. You go see them then at church domot, but not go enter church and every other thing. So one for bring them back for come to God. Then one. Then two, one for reduce this kind of thing for let them then treat the big and every other thing. One for help them out, because they get a lot of things them in them. We want for show to the public see. Then people also getting things there. So if only we can render them, then kind of help them also. Then self able for do